So, we are live. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Yes. Good morning, Houston. We are live this morning in the north part of town, right off 249.
No.
Or sorry, 290.
Yeah, we're not that far.
It's like a lot of 290s, right? So we are live this morning. We are the Caffeinated Show, and we are so excited to have you with us this morning. My name is Yaneth Martell, and I am your Houston area home lender that can help you with your home loans. Welcome.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Kimberly with North American Title, and this morning we are in the northwest area of Houston. We are not at a coffee shop.
We are not, but we have coffee.
We do have coffee
from La Guadalupana.
From La Guadalupana, which is on Dunlavy
and Indiana.
Yeah, so if you haven't been there, you need to join or go to Guadalupana, because that place has been there for years since I was in high school or before.
Yes, and it is it's a small, locally owned, just such a small, cute place that has delicious food and of course great coffee.
Yeah,
so
family owned.
Café de Olla.
Yeah, Café de Olla. This morning, why are we behind or in front of all these beautiful pillows? Because we have Kristen with us. And Kristen is joining us today. Kristen Skarbovig.
You got it? Yes.
Yay. I did write that down.
We practiced a little bit this morning.
It's necessary.
From someone that has a difficult last name, I know it can be frustrating sometimes when you have to spell it. I spell my name every day.
Yes.
Every day.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Hello, Yaneth with a Y.
Yeah, Yaneth with a Y. That's okay. Your parents wanted you to be special.
To be unique and special.
Yes, but you know what I have found about our names that are very uncommon is that people do remember them after you have shown them how to, say them properly or spell them properly. You do stick in the mind of people more than just other names.
Right.
That's very true.
So Kristen is with Reveal Home Staging. We wanted to bring a stager to you guys, a professional stager, to let all of our realtors and agents and even the public to know how important it is when you're getting ready to prepare your home to sell it, to list it. You don't want people to come and view a home that's empty necessarily. You don't want them to view it when there's a lot of junk in there either.
Right.
But you don't want them to necessarily view it empty because they need to have a better idea of maybe how furniture will look.
Well, they need to have the possibilities.
Yeah, so Kristen's joining us from Reveal Home Staging. She is the owner, operator. You know, we're a woman-led real estate show.
Absolutely.
And so we're always about empowering other women and, getting you guys out there to show us what you got.
Absolutely.
So we're so happy to have you here today to discuss that. I know we're going to be talking a little bit about what brought you into the business, the projects that you work with, and you are exclusive home stager. Correct. So you work exclusively with home sellers, and that's really important for the public to know, because our realtors out there, our real estate agents that need someone like you, they're looking for top dollar. This is a very important area that they need to focus on.
Right.
So we're excited to talk to you about this.
Wonderful. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah,
Tell us how you got started in the home staging. I can just imagine, like when I was a little girl, I'm going to tell you my quick story. I used to love to go to Alameda Mall. When I first moved to Houston, Alameda Mall was like where we went, right? Hopefully you guys can hear us out there. We do have a fan in the background. So if you can't hear us, let me know.
Yes,
we
we're
can get
in
that
the
fan
hot
turned off.
Working warehouse, so it's not it's not anything magical or fancy here.
It's okay. It's okay. But when I was little, I used to go to Alameda Mall all the time. Mom would drop us off at when they opened at 10, stay till 10 o'clock at night.
Right.
And I used to dream, I want to be locked up in the mall at night and like live in Foley's or whatever there was back then. Was it Foley's?
It was Foley's.
And just stay like overnight and sleep on all the beds and jump on all the beds, and that was like a dream of mine.
Yeah.
That was my interior decorating dream. That was it. That's all I had.
So tell us, how did you get started in the business?
Absolutely. So I have always wanted to own my own business, and that was really what the spearhead was from the get-go. Since I was 16 years old, it's been a dream of mine. I'm the kind of person who likes to make her own rules, and so,
we are.
Yes,
the same way.
Exactly.
We love that. Yes.
But how I stumbled into home staging in particular is a little bit more of a convoluted story, I guess, if you will. So my background is in fine art. I studied painting, drawing, sculpture. I attended the Maryland Institute College of Art in Baltimore.
Nice.
And it was my dream at the time to potentially pursue a painting career.
Okay.
Well, I quickly realized that I have much more of a combination of an artistic mind and an analytical mind.
Okay.
And so that business part of me was still driving me forward. So throughout a number of different careers in my 20s, including teaching and working in education for a while, I decided that I wanted to start to embark on what my next career was going to be.
Yeah.
And in 2008, 2009 was when the recession hit.
Right.
And at the time, I had recently moved back to Texas, and my family owned a furniture store in the Humboldt-Kingwood area.
Okay.
My grandfather started that store in 1970, and at the time, they really had never had to do any marketing, advertising. They didn't have a website. It was really all word of mouth because Humboldt used to be a small town.
Right.
And that was the place where everybody went to buy their furniture.
Right.
Well, with the rise of online stores, online shopping, big box stores, they started to struggle a little bit, and then the recession hit, so things got a little bit more difficult. So what I did is I approached them. I had a background in doing some marketing, I had a background in some sales, a background in some design. And so what we came to an agreement on was that I would work for them about 30 hours a week. They would provide me with a place to stay. So I lived with my aunt for a number of months. And in that time, I was putting away money to be able to branch out and start my own business.
Okay.
Awesome.
So at the same time, my mother had sold a number of different homes, and she had heard about this thing called staging, right? So home staging is a fairly young career. It's only about 30, 40 years old at the most. So she was getting close to retiring from her job in the insurance industry, living in Florida, and the two of us decided together, let's both start a staging company. We'll be under the same umbrella. She'll run an office from Florida, I'll run an office from Texas. Well, about halfway through that, my mother unfortunately was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And so at that time, I was already very invested in a staging company, and therefore I decided to continue on my own, and we're almost at 6 years now, so, here we are today.
That's
You-
awesome.
Yeah,
What a
tell me.
beautiful story.
You had said that your mom was in Florida. At one point, y'all were gonna do two.
Right.
We were going to do two
Yeah.
separate locations, correct. Yeah.
Okay. What part of Florida?
She's in Sarasota. At the time, she was in Tampa.
Has
Okay.
she moved to Texas, or is she
Nope, she's still in Sarasota.
Okay.
My stepdad is a wonderful man who's taking great care of her.
Good. How is she doing?
She's doing well. She's doing well. Yeah.
I know it's
I love
that.
Florida.
I mean, when you mention Alzheimer's, it's always such a difficult transition for the family and for the individual as well. Obviously. But anyway,
It's a challenge.
It is
for
a
sure.
challenge, but it's beautiful that she inspired you and that you guys were able to create this, and how it's progressed, and how you were going to be able to see some of her influence always in your
Absolutely.
business.
Absolutely. Well, and every time I talk with her on the
Right.
phone,
During Monday mornings.
Yes, I am very busy. I'm happy to take your calls, and when I
After
am
the show.
not, and as you know, I'm on the show now, but I return all of my calls as soon as the show's over. And if you are not, if you have my email, you can always email me, and obviously my team will always take care of you. So definitely let me
Is it
know.
too hard to hear?
Is it?
Yeah.
People, are you able to hear us, or
No,
not yet?
mics are not.
all right, let me.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
We are
off
going
the
to take
fan.
a little
Kristen is
pause.
gonna turn off the
So
fan
in the
for us.
meantime, we are going to show you some of the beautiful pieces that Kristen has here.
Yeah, well,
This
there's
is
a few
really
other
nice.
things going. We can talk about some announcements real quick while
Sure,
she's
if you
doing
wanna do
that.
that.
So Thursday, ooh, maybe that's better.
Okay.
Is that better? Let us know.
Can you hear that?
So we turned off the fan.
Maybe someone was calling to let us know.
Yeah, the fan was off, but it was kind of warm, so that's why we. And Kristen's joining us back. Okay,
Thank you,
perfect.
Kristen.
Yay!
So
We
in
needed a
case
big
you
remote.
missed it, but Kristen was, I think you were able to hear, but maybe not as loud and clear as we are now. But you were telling us about how you got started in the business, and your business has been here in Houston area for about 6 years.
Right.
So it's just continuing to grow. But you were going to tell us about Talk to us a little bit about why home staging is so important to home sellers, and what is home staging for people that are still not aware of what it is.
Absolutely. Right. So home staging essentially is taking a property that is about to go on the market and making sure that from day one of the listing, the property is presented in its absolute best light. So it's all about the presentation. So there's typically 3 things that we consider when we're selling a home. Pricing, obviously, is number 1. Your presentation, which includes the way the home looks, how it's decorated, is it aspirational, are buyers excited and enticed to want to come in and view it?
Right.
And then of course your promotion, so that's your marketing, your Facebook, your Twitter, getting the word out there, having your open houses. So being that kind of second leg on the tripod is the area of home staging. Now, home staging can involve something as simple as if a home is occupied during the listing and the homeowners have it completely furnished, but we come in and tweak it, right? We might help people to declutter, we help people to minimize, we help them to make sure that the furniture, the artwork, the accessories, all of these are positioned in such a way that we get a really clear sense of scale of the rooms. Okay. The buyers have a really clear understanding of how to walk through the space. And that first and foremost, your property photos that are listing online are going to be enticing and exciting and visually interesting enough to drive your buyers in the house. The biggest difference between selling homes today versus selling homes 20, even 10 years ago is that 99% of your buyers are going to see that home online first.
Right.
That's so
photos can
make or break your sale.
Deal. And I'm going to tell you this story because I always use my personal experience. We bought a house in November. I almost did not go to look at this house because the photos online were horrible.
Right.
They were horrible. He took a picture of the sink, but not the restroom. It's a beautiful bowl sink that I hate anyways because you can't even wash your face properly because the bowl is in the way. Like they're pretty, but they're not,
not so functional.
Not as functional.
Absolutely.
But what I was going to say is that photos, do you meet with photographers sometimes? Okay.
So part of we try to be an all-inclusive one-stop shop for the presentation of your home.
Right.
So in preparation prior to your staging, we consider things such as, is the home clean? Do we need to consider a deep clean? Are there any repairs that need to happen? So essentially we walk through the property. We're going to provide a list of property-specific recommendations. These are the things that we need to do even pre-staging in order to help you make sure that your home is absolutely showing its best on day one.
Right.
Then of course the staging element comes in, and then of course the professional photography comes in as well. As of January, we've hired our own in-house photographer, so we actually provide photography with our staging packages.
Oh, wow.
That's nice.
That's really nice.
Yeah. We decided that we really wanted to have control over the photos, and I know that there's a number of realtors out there that really have their go-to photographer.
Right.
We ask you to give our photographer a try. He's really amazing and can do fantastic, excellent work.
Well, it kind of makes sense that if you're kind of there already and you're doing the you're doing all the setting up, that you can do the photos at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, he understands your vision, so he's able to pull it all together and show it properly.
And the fun thing is he also includes some close-up photos. So now that HAR has expanded the opportunity from doing just 32 photos per listing to about 50 per listing.
That's a lot.
We can get some really fun close-ups that mix in there. It gives you kind of a more visual, emotional feel and connection to the home, right? So it's not just sterile room, sterile room, sterile room. It's what is the feeling of this home?
Absolutely.
What is this home creating? And what is my family going to experience when they're in that space?
And for me, I am not a photographer, but I love taking pictures of other people, of other things. But what you said, it's about the experience. Right. So you can say so much through a picture and without any words. It's just the feeling that you get, how the picture is taken. It just speaks so much to families, and I think you're right. And like you going online, when you're shopping, I know when I look, I always look through PAR, and I always look at home pictures just because you want to take a look at what's out there.
Yeah.
And I think more pictures is great because it just gives you, it really gives you a story as opposed to like, here's the entire room, Now think about how you'd want to make this room look. No, it really gives you kind of the possibilities of what you're.
And I was saying that because the other house that I looked at in this particular neighborhood had amazing photos. That's what took me to that neighborhood. But when I got into the house, it wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be, according to the photos. Right. And so what I did
that happens too sometimes.
Yeah, and that happens too. So what I did is I said, we're in the neighborhood. Let's stop by this other house that I saw that the pictures were not so great. Pulled up to it. That was actually the house we wound up buying. Was that house. Had it been staged, though, I think it would have given me a better vision on sofas and some furniture, because I had oversized sofas before in my other house. I had an oversized dining room. My kids are bigger now. I don't need all this big stuff, so I wound up having to buy new sofas to accommodate a smaller living room. But if it would have been staged, I would have had a better idea. That 48-inch sofa isn't going to fit. Even though it's very comfortable.
Well, and when you're home buying, you have so many, things you're thinking about. You're thinking about, those buyers are thinking about home insurance, lending, money, all these different things. They don't, although they want to visualize and they want to, see, okay, this is what I'm going to do to this house. It's so much easier for them to already have a vision, because that already takes one part of the equation that they don't have to, they can think about all the other things they have to think about. And it gives them an idea of how they're able to set up the house, and that's what brings them to it.
Absolutely. And realistically, only about 90% or only about 10% of people out there are able to visualize what the potential of the home is. So your 90%, which is the majority of your potential buyers that are looking at the space, walk into an empty room or a space that maybe the furniture's not quite positioned the way that it should, and they're like, well, my stuff won't fit in this space. I can't, or this style is really off-putting, So maybe someone's got, a really very specific sense of style in the home, and it doesn't match the style of the furniture that they have. And so it can really throw people off, because it gives them an impression of what kind of person lives in that space, who it is that lives in that space, and it takes them out of the mindset of being able to understand myself and my family can live in this space.
Exactly. Yeah, I know that when we were trying to sell a previous home, one of the agents' comments back to me was, man, they have a lot of laundry. And I was like, yeah, but we have 3 kids under the age of 10 at that time. And I was like, how do you tackle
that?
All of that?
That's the hard part,
that's
because
so
they're
difficult.
still living in it.
So it can be very difficult to sell a house when you're still living in it, just from the emotional side, because you're already dealing with probably the largest investment that you're going to make in your life, You're already wrapped up. You've got a certain price in mind that you want to get, and then you've got people on top of that coming in and criticizing your space, So you've got 20 buyers that all have their little nitpicky feedback. And so what we try and do for occupied sellers is we try and help them prioritize what is absolutely necessary to get the home ready for sale. So we're not going in as interior designers. We're not going in to critique your space. We are going in to help be a part of your real estate agent's marketing team, to focus on what are the most important things that we need to do to help people understand the storage capacity of the space. So you mentioned laundry, If a comment comes back from a buyer, oh, they've got a laundry, okay, there's a solution for that. Can we get some storage benches where we can store laundry? Can we open up a space in a closet that's dedicated to that? And so we'll come up with some solutions for those type of situations. And a lot of times, I love to tell this story, because this is at the height of the market. So it was in, 2014, and houses in Houston were flying off the shelves, Buyers were buying houses, making multiple cash offers, houses sight unseen, which for a stager, that can be a little bit of a tricky area, Because people say, well, I don't need staging. The houses are going to sell like hotcakes. So at the height of that time, there was a beautiful 2-year-old home in the Oak Forest area. The real estate agent called me up, and she said, Kristen, this house has been on the market for 2 weeks. We haven't gotten any offers. People are saying that the house is beautiful, but there's just no storage. And so I took a look at the photos online. The house is gorgeous. Her photographer did a great job. They did a wonderful job with just what you see when you walk in the space. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna need to get into this home and see what's going on, right? So I walk in the home, I start opening the cabinets, and they're just filled with stuff, like literally falling out on me when I open the cabinets. So what we did is I told him, I said, I think you've got a problem with people not understanding what the storage capacity is in the house. So we sent our staging team in. We spent about 4 hours decluttering the cabinets, helping them pack up, put a couple things of storage, made everything nice and neat and organized, a little bit overly OCD so, right? Because the way that you stage is different than the way that you live, right?
But
so,
I love that overly OCD.
Absolutely. Some people do.
I do.
So we did the cabinets, and the next day they got an offer on the house.
Wow.
So that just tells you how important the behind-the-scenes stuff can be, in addition to what you see initially in the photos and when you walk in the house.
Yes.
So when a realtor decides that they have a listing, let's say the house is empty, the sellers have already moved out, at what point do they need to reach out to you and ask you for your advice, opinion, get started before the listing goes live? I mean,
so you're talking about a vacant staging.
Yeah, let's just say vacant staging.
The sooner the better. Call us as soon as possible.
Busy right now.
We are booked about 4 weeks in advance right now, which is typically we need about a week to a week and a half turnaround. I'd say on average that's pretty much what we need. This time of year we get very, very booked far in advance. That being said, with vacant homes, often say there's been renters in the house for the past 2 years, or say that the family has moved to Chicago and they've already got a house there. Well, the house is most likely going to need some work. Right? There's going to need to be a deep clean that's going to have to be completed. Most likely you're going to have to patch and fill holes left behind from art hanging on the walls, repaint the house, do like an air filter treatment, maybe if they had pets that were living in the house, right? So there's a number of things that need to happen. We make it our goal to provide you with a prioritized list of all of these things before we ever talk about what furniture we're going to be moving into the space. So that's, again, part of the reason that the sooner the better that we can get in, view the space, determine what the needs are, and then help work with you to create a timeline for what we're going to be doing on the staging day.
Okay. So last minute listings and supplying those homes are not the best idea.
Not the best idea. That doesn't mean we can't accommodate. We're working on building our staff and building our inventory so that we can, but keep in mind we're a small business, right? So we can do what we can do.
But also I would think, that it takes a little bit of time, obviously, and work. If you want to get top dollar for your client, you want to have the professional photographer, so it's not like you're going to get a listing and then tomorrow you're going to list it. So I think that there's not a lot of those scenarios that happen that are looking to give that client that kind of experience and top.
And good agents will play in a pre-listing kind of outline or timeline, to get it ready. And you've already had that talk, you've already signed your listing agreement, you're good to go. Now just playing it out to where you're live and you're staged.
Because I don't think there's probably, this is again from a different perspective, but I don't think that there's a lot of homes that are just ready to go on live right away if someone's been living in it or if it's been vacant for a long time. They're going to need some work. I know even when we take great care of the home, there's always little things you have to take care of.
Yeah, just hardware that's loose or light bulbs that are out, even small things like that.
Exactly.
I think it's important to for people to, we like to try and be as transparent as we can be about what our process is about. So it's one thing to be able to pick up the phone and call a photographer and say, can you come shoot my house tomorrow? If the photographer has, an hour in his or her schedule, he or she can pick up and show up, shoot the house, go home and edit the photos that night. Right? So we work all over town. We primarily work within Beltway 8, but we do occasionally go to Katy, Fulshire, Kingwood, other places. And so we have to make sure that the furniture that we have available and in stock corresponds with the opening that we have on our calendar, corresponds with the availability of our staff. And if we don't have all of these things happening at once, then we may have to go to our wholesale dealer, purchase new furniture that fits the style of the home, that fits the scale of the home, that fits the potential buyer demographic in the area, because I never and will refuse to put an IKEA sofa in a $1.2 million listing. Right?
Yeah, you should not do that.
Don't do that.
Please
I don't think your sellers will appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And those buying that property would not appreciate that, because there's a different, level of taste and style and expectations.
Well, and what does it
Exactly.
say about, like you said, people formulate an idea of the people living in the house as well through the furniture and what kind of negotiating there could even be. So if you have something that is not as valuable as the house itself, obviously you're already sending a message to your potential buyers about negotiation.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think it goes
It
goes
works all
beyond.
ways.
Yes, exactly.
When an agent is ready to get started with you, can you give them or give everybody watching maybe an idea of what the cost would be? I know it's usually a percentage or so of.
So one thing that we decided to do as a team about 3.5 years ago, prior to this point, we would get a phone call, we would get a request for a staging, we would go out to the property, look at the property, determine what we were going to put in it, and then provide a quote, which would take 36 to 72 hours, right?
Okay.
So about 3.5 years ago, we were like, why are we doing all of this? We have been staging houses long enough that we know exactly what our costs are. We know exactly how much time it's going to take. So at that point, we pre-packaged all of our pricing.
Okay. Nice.
So if you were to tell me an asking price, square footage, and location of a home, I can give you a quote for it immediately.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is very cool.
So give us a call and we'll answer the phone. We'll give you a quote within less than 5 minutes.
That's
the other
awesome.
thing is we have on our website, which is revealhomestaging.com.
Which we are going to be putting in the comments section as well for you guys.
You can go to our homepage, or actually any page on our website. There's a button there that says Quick Quote.
Okay.
Press this button, you fill out a little bit of information. So what's your name, what's your email address, are you a realtor, homeowner, investor, builder, what's the asking price, the square footage, and the location. And within less than 30 seconds, you're going to receive an email in your inbox that gives you a specific quote for your property.
That's fantastic, because people sometimes want that information right away. Now, I know that you had shared something for our viewers. There was, or I don't know if it was on the text you sent me, but it had a special code for them to go in there, or to just go into their website and just do the quoting, I guess.
No.
Okay, no, never mind. But I think what you
That
had
is how long
sent.
we-
I did have a very great weekend.
We didn't even talk about our
I
weekend.
know.
We got
It was
right
that
to the
great.
show.
But you know what? I think what it was is actually just your website to go in
to
there
go
and
visit the
do.
website.
You have, all great
Quick
information about Quick Quote and all of that. So that's
The reason why I asked you that was because I've met stagers before in the past that realtors would be frustrated because they
Absolutely.
kind of needed to tell their sellers something
Absolutely.
quickly.
the price.
The pricing for the staging, and so that's awesome that you can do that within the matter of minutes.
Well, and that's what we were finding. I make it a plan, or make it part of our routine to build relationships with the real estate agents that we work with. We do a lot of repeat and referral business, and I try and listen to what the issues are, what the problems are, and that was one thing that was coming up. It was like, Kristen, I've got to have the information when I go into my listing appointment.
Yeah.
And if you're not available by phone, then I can't get that quote. So we predetermined all of that pricing. We also now have a realtor packet available. So
nice.
if you email me, then I can send you, it's essentially a pre-listing staging packet that you can include in your pre-listing appointments. So it has
That's
statistics about staging. It has our personal statistics for Reveal Home Staging. It gives you the pricing list, so you can present this directly to your clients at the time, and really just about anything that you need to know. It also gives you some really handy marketing videos, so if your client's kind of on the fence about whether they want to make the investment in staging or not, we have a really handy video that's called The Cost of Not Staging a Home, and so it just is like a 30-second clip that gives a real-life example of a house that was listed vacant versus staged, on the market for 5 months vacant, under contract and 15 days staged. So it gives you, and it breaks down all the numbers and everything. But to not leave people frustrated, and to answer your question about what is the cost of a vacant stage, it starts at $3,000. That's our basic package. Okay. It goes up to our luxury packages start around $6,500.
Okay.
And that's for homes that are listing up to about $3 million. Anything that's over $3 million, then we have to do custom pricing for. So that's the only case where we wouldn't be able to give you a quote like that. Our typical packages are 3-room packages. We call those the key impression areas: living room, dining room, master suite. And we operate on 60-day contract terms.
Okay. Good deal. Good to know.
Fantastic.
We are going to actually show you around. That's lots of staging information. Again, this is Kristen Skarbovig.
Yes.
I always switch the B and the B. I did that like 100 times.
That was a while back.
I did that 1,000,000 times this weekend. I was flipping the two.
It's tricky.
Anyway,
it's
with Reveal Home Staging, we are live here in her warehouse, and that's why we have all these beautiful pillows behind us. So we are going to get up in just a second and actually show you around, show you guys around, and Kristen's going to kind of show us how they set up everything. But before we do that, before we get up, let's give out your contact information one more time. Give out your website.
Okay, absolutely.
And go over some upcoming events and stuff that's coming up before we walk around.
So why don't you give them your contact information and website again?
Absolutely. So again, my name is Kristen Skarbovig. I'm with Reveal Home Staging. Our website is www.revealhomestaging.com, and our phone number is 281-974-4119. And you can.
So we are going to be, of course, taking in the beautiful mural art that's all around town, and just chat with some of the agents. So we do still have a couple of spots available. If you want to know more about this area and you want to join us, spend some wonderful fun time with us, then it is
lunch will
this Thursday
be
from 10 o'clock. We're meeting at Kim's office. We have a bus that's taking us, so it'll be really fun and exciting.
So we'll be in the air conditioning while we're driving, and then we'll do
get
pit
off,
stops
take
at the
pictures
different
if you want to, whatever you want to do.
murals. And then also this Thursday evening, our friends over at Bamboo Realty is hosting a open house for Facundo Builders. And they're
and we're going to reshare their invite as well, but it is going to be at a beautiful home. It's going to be a fun. They're going to have a DJ as well. I read, and it's just for you to come out and really see the property and the builder, Facundo Builders, to build beautiful homes. This one is. I want it.
This is like $1.something million home. So we'll add that there again. It's this Thursday from I think 5:30 to 8. Over in the Garden Oaks Garden Oaks area. So we'll add that information as well. So
that's a little event.
Sure, of course.
So this Wednesday, I'm doing a class on luxury home staging.
Oh, wonderful!
And it will be held at 103 Roy Street from, I think it's from 2:30 to 4. Let me double check the time.
Okay. Well, we can put that on here as well. So nice. Maybe you can come do a class for us.
We want to do a class.
I'd love to.
That would be fantastic. Because that would be.
Well, I'm gonna get up and I am going to record you guys.
Okay, well that's fine. But I wanted to see if there was anyone we wanted to say hello to. I can't see that far.
I can see. Because I'm going to tell you right now.
Thank you for joining us live here this morning. We appreciate you always tuning in. Whether we are live, do you have any questions? Please let us know. And it's always nice people watch it, whether they're watching it live or later on replay it. It's always nice because they always go back and tell us the comments, and they always think it's so interesting.
Maya's watching, and we had another
hi guys
lady. Maya says hello, ladies. I'm reaching out. My phone's been acting up. So we also had another comment earlier that stated great information. Thank you for sharing. So that's what we want to do, is be able to provide information to our agents and to the public. So this is a part of that. But y'all ready to do the tour?
Sure.
Awesome.
Great.
So I am going to excuse us one moment. And so hi guys.
We're gonna start this way.
Okay.
Let's start however you want.
We are going to turn this around. Hello everybody. So we are going to do the tour. Hi, Randall. Thanks for tuning in. We are going to do the tour here of the Reveal Home staging. Oops, if I don't flip over here. So this is our beautiful little setup. Look at that.
Yes.
So let me give a shout out to my setup there. And then
We enjoyed the comfy couch. It was definitely very
Good.
comfortable.
We have solid furniture that you can actually sit on. So
Yep,
lots of
solid
hard
furniture.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, why don't you?
this is our warehouse space. We have been in this location for about 3 years now. We are looking to move, hopefully in November. We're going to be tripling our space because business is booming and it demands it. So we try and stay super, super organized here because we have a lot of moving parts. I mean,
Right.
everything down from your 78-inch sofa down to the napkin rings that are going on
Right.
the table, right? All of these things have to be taken into consideration, organized, itemized, and make sure that they land on every job site and go to where they need to go. So if you take a look around, we're actually pretty low on inventory right now. We have about 22 houses that are out and staged.
Okay.
We've got another 4 that are coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
On average, we stage between 3 and 6 houses per week, and that's vacant staging. And then occupieds, we probably do about 5 per week. So
Okay.
we're constantly moving in and out of houses.
So you have everything, like you said, from what goes on top of the table.
Correct.
obviously
Yep. Table runner, your accessories.
And your art, I see some art and the chairs.
Yeah, if you look around here, this is kind of where we store our art. And again, we have to stay really organized, so we try and divide it off. Mirrors, your framed pieces, your canvases, and then
And
divide
even
it by
your
style.
bedding.
Down to bedding, bed pillows.
Do you provide the beds as well?
We do, we
Okay.
do. Mattresses, bed frames, the whole shebang.
so over here, is this a setup that's kind of
This
ready
is
to
in
go?
the works, right?
Okay.
So this is my lead designer. Her name is Andre. She's not here yet. She's on looking at a property this morning, but she comes in. So this is a fun house. Shout out to Alex McCauley with Keller Williams Memorial. This is a house that we're doing for her on
Oh,
Thursday.
yes, I know Alex. Hi, Alex.
But essentially what we're doing here, this house is a very contemporary house. It's got an industrial feel. It's got a little bit of a boho style, the kind of what you're seeing right now, like out on HGTV and Target and other places
Right.
like that, right? And so this is in the works and in practice. So my lead designer will go, she'll go over to the pillow station, she'll pull those, does everything work together.
Okay.
She'll constantly kind of be changing and tweaking.
Right.
We add stuff on top, make sure that all the colors are matching. Once it's all finalized, then it'll be the mover's job to come over and pack everything up and get it ready to go onto the truck.
Okay.
Okay, awesome.
Wow.
And you have
She has some
other.
really cute mirrors as well. And
Yeah, little wall hangings there.
I've seen they're just to protect the furniture.
The cones, they're
Yeah.
actually not. They serve another purpose.
Oh,
So you
really?
see there's multiple colors,
Yes,
right?
I've seen them all up
Green,
there.
blue, red, yellow. So this is our organization system.
Okay.
So everything that has a red cone is going to property X. Everything that has a blue
Okay.
cone is going to property Y. So in other words,
Nice.
my designer can come through. We can keep everything still categorized by
Right.
coffee tables, console tables, bedroom
Right.
dressers, etc. And then when my movers come in on the day of, they don't have to wait for the designer to get here. They come in, they say, okay, we're doing blue cones today. They have been doing it for 8 years. They know exactly how to load a truck, so they go and pull everything that's blue cones, pop it on the truck, and it's ready to go.
Wow,
Awesome.
that's awesome.
Good system.
So don't move the cones.
Don't
Yeah,
move the cones.
don't move the cones. I may have moved one.
I know, it's like I think I did for the coffee mug.
That's right,
Yeah, but
we'll
it
fix
was
it.
where we were. So this must be another one too.
This is a $3 million property that we're doing on Wednesday. It's
Awesome.
for Realtor
Okay.
Javon Henderson, again, Keller Williams Memorial. We work with that office a lot. This is a condo that's in the Galleria, very contemporary. This table over here is for
Okay.
that. These 2 sofas and actually all of these chairs. So
Okay.
this is brand new inventory that we just got in about 2
That's
weeks
beautiful.
ago. We purchase wholesale, so we buy from vendors in California,
Okay.
Dallas, New York, and they ship to us here. And you can see my designers in the process of
Oh.
Selecting the pillows,
How
trying to find out
pretty.
what's going to go on the
See, that's my
sofa.
foliage dream.
That's beautiful. Except it was on a bed. So.
Yeah, I just wanted to jump around on all the
So
beds.
I was in Greensboro a couple of, like a month or so ago, and I happened to be there during the wholesale.
During furniture market?
Yes.
Nice.
I had
Oh,
no idea
nice.
there was
Yes.
a furniture market. I met a lady also who's a wholesale furniture
Representative?
Yes.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
out of the San Antonio area, and it was fascinating to
Oh
me
my
to
gosh.
find out all that. I didn't even know there was. I
Oh,
guess
yeah.
because we're not in the industry,
Yeah.
don't realize all the industry related events. But she said it's one of the top places.
It is.
For
So
furniture.
it's High Point, North Carolina is where the
Right.
furniture market is. It happens twice a year there.
Right.
One of the biggest in the world, probably one of 3 in the
Okay.
world. The second one is in Las Vegas.
Okay.
And then the third, there's a number that are in the East. So in China and Japan and in Europe, there's a number of furniture markets.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
We make it a point to attend furniture market 1 to 2 times per year.
Okay.
So I'm going to Las Vegas in July to
Hey,
go
Oh, how
visit
fun.
furniture.
That was a fun one to
In
go
the middle of the heat.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I guess it's because they make a lot of the furniture in the Carolinas as well.
That is
That's
the home of
probably
furniture
right.
manufacturing in the United States.
Right.
Exactly.
That's what I found out. It was so fascinating. I was supposed to just walk in. That's my story. I was supposed to walk into the restaurant and pick up my food to go because we were in training. And I ended up just having a drink with her. And she was so fascinating that I
Oh, wow.
got my takeout food and ate it there with her and found such great information.
That's awesome.
But it takes a lot of dedication and work, obviously.
Oh, yes.
To maintain
So what do
your
we have in
business.
this last little section here?
So this is our accessorizing section. So obviously we've got hangers for closets. You've got lampshades
Oh,
over
look,
here.
our favorite.
So we have a coffee
I
press.
see.
We have
Ah.
a coffee press.
French
yes.
press. Love it, love it.
Well, there was one right
There's
here.
one
I
right
could've-
there. That is a French
Well, I
press.
don't want to move it because it has a red.
It has to go in its section, right?
And then of course our big accessories, which the shelves are looking a little weak right now because obviously we've
wanna come
been pretty busy and stuff has been going out. This over here is our designer's
And how
planning
pretty the
table.
green.
So
That's
you'll
so
see
beautiful.
down below we've got the bins. That's what everything is packed in. She does these little setups and she'll say, okay, I think I want that there instead of this, and she'll tweak it and move it around until it's just perfect and just what she needs. And after
All
that,
the greenery you have to.
oh yeah, the greenery is imperative.
Yes.
But we try and make packing really simple, right? So we've got these little packing pockets. Just slip your accessories in, pop them into the bins, and then they're loaded up and they go to the
And
house.
this is the secret to keeping everything looking nice.
Yes, you're
It's
so organized. That's
super
what I said
important.
earlier.
That's
Just,
super
look at
important.
this. Can my bathroom look like this?
I know.
I mean, can my cabinets
want
and
you
my
to come to
kitchen?
my house.
Yeah. So I'm going to around and there I am. Here, I'm going to turn around this way because I have to use this arm. So anyways, thanks everybody for joining us.
Yes.
I'm a little shimmery today.
We have
sweating
been,
a little
well, but it's great. It's great for our skin.
Yes.
I'm happy to do it.
So again, thanks for joining us. We are live here at Reveal Home Staging. This is Kristen.
Yes,
Please reach
thanks,
out
Kristen.
to her with any of your home staging needs. Reach out to her as soon as you know that you're going to have a listing, so you can be sure that you're on her calendar. So again, thank you, ladies.
Yes.
Yes,
Have a
it's
great
been-
week.
You've shared such great information.
Yeah.
So
Lots of
have a fantastic week.
have a fantastic week, and until next Monday, everybody. We don't have our
Stay-
mugs, but stay caffeinated.
caffeinated.
All right, bye, guys.